Benjamin Netanyahu is completely anti-democratic. He is a war criminal. He does not serve the interests of Jewish people. He is a dictator to his core, and he should be in prison. And he is committing war crimes every single day. Every single day. It is horrific. It is a tragedy. The only difference between Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump is Benjamin Netanyahu is actually smart and a little bit more evil. And so I want to talk to you all about this as it pertains to the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party has an Aipac problem.
This is one of the best videos I've seen from a lib show in quite a while.
Why is the American government and a lot of American politicians taking money from a country that is committing war crimes? And then they can't speak plainly in the interest of American workers because they're compromised. And let's just do roll call on every single one of them. As you all know, I'm super obsessed with Zohran Mamdani and his electoral victory in the primary of the New York mayoral race. And I think this man has a message. I think the Democratic Party should get behind him. I think the Democratic Party should take notes. I think we should go younger. I think we should go further to the left. I think we should campaign for everybody. And Zohran Mamdani leaves no one behind. But Aipac doesn't like him because he's Muslim, because that's a brand damaging problem for them. If there's a Muslim that comes out and speaks for everybody, they're going to have a hard time convincing rube Americans that all Muslims are bad and we have to send all our taxpayer money to Israel, who, by the way, gets free health care subsidized by us, gets a lot of bombs subsidized by us. And if your kids in Israel want to go to a higher education, guess what? They don't have to go in debt because it's subsidized by us.
And here's what they did.
New York Democrats who haven't endorsed Mamdani and their Aipac bag. Let's go. Representative Laura Gillen, $94,905. Representative Adriano Espialat, I'm butchering his last name, $202,000. Representative Tom Suozzi, $312,000. Representative Dan Goldman, $366,000. Representative Gregory Meeks, $690,000. Representative Grace Ming, $619,000. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, almost $1 million, coming in at $997,000. Representative Ritchie Torres, $1.5 million. Senator Chuck Schumer, $1.7 million. Hakeem Jeffries, $1.7 million. Representative George Latimer, $19 million, almost $20 million.
So incredibly well done. Many shows reacted to this, including...
My question always is like, New York City is the largest Jewish city on the planet. Sometimes Tel Aviv, I think, has a higher number of Jewish people living in it. But I think New York City is either the number one or number two largest Jewish city on the planet. It predates the invention of the state of Israel. Yep. Like, Jewish people here have stronger roots to the United States of America and New York City in particular, and Los Angeles as well, than they do to Israel as a nation state. Israel is an ethno-state. Zionism is an ethno-state project. They incentivize American Jews and Jews all around the world to go and live in Israel. So my question always is to these people that say like, oh, Jews really care about Israel. That's all they care about. It's like, but these are American Jews. These are New Yorkers. If they cared about Israel that much, they would live in Israel.
Yep.
Like, they would just go and live there. There are tremendous incentives to go and live there. You actually get health care if you live in Israel, as a matter of fact.
You get Palestinian land.
Yeah, you get free housing if you want, government subsidized housing in the West Bank if you want. Like, and yet so many Jewish people choose to live here and be American citizens and not be Israeli citizens in spite of all that. That, to me, is a clear indication that American Jews, just like American Muslims, just like American Christians, have American problems. And that's what they care about. They don't care about Israel to the degree in which people talk about it in the media.
The Majority Report, where Haas joined the program. Then Jen Welch played this clip of Hakeem Jeffries and reacted afterwards.
I think our nominee is going to have to convince folks that he is prepared to aggressively address the rise in anti-Semitism in the city of New York, which has been an unacceptable development.
Okay. First of all, he has addressed the rise of anti-Semitism, and it's not performative. It's very, very real. And he understands that it's real. And he has the endorsement of other Jewish politicians that aren't propagandized by a corrupt Israeli government, Hakeem. But secondly, this was your moment, Hakeem, to also stand up against Islamophobia. Because here's the thing about human rights, you guys. You don't get to cherry pick. If you're against anti-Semitism, then you have to be against Islamophobia, homophobia, racism, and down the line. Also class warfare, this bigotry towards poor people is just abhorrent, which disproportionately hurts people with the color of Hakeem Jeffries' skin. And so this kind of cherry picking because of who donates to Hakeem Jeffries, AIPAC donates to Hakeem Jeffries. How on earth right now is the government of Israel helping calm and quell anti-Semitism? How are they doing it? They're not. They lie and they propagandize and they say, we get to do all this stuff with impunity. And that if you criticize us or you do anything wrong towards us or you speak out against us, then we're going to call you an anti-Semite. The people who preach against anti-Semitism should be joining Zohran Mamdani and standing up against the Islamophobic attacks on him. He has not said anything disparaging about Jewish people. He stands with them in solidarity. And this type of crap is so disgusting to me. And it is a cancer within the Democratic Party.
I'm just floored at this. Thus,
and it is for a lot of these people, it is a proxy that allows them to avoid talking about what the real issue is, class issues. And they bring this up because it was a third rail, type of deployment. And it is no longer resonating. It no longer resonates because of what people can see with their eyes in terms of the way that Israel has been, engaged in this slaughter.
So when you ask, like, who is this for? When Hakeem Jeffries is doing this performance, it's for the Zionist donor base.
Yep.
And people can sense that. So when we're talking about it being like a proxy for other things, it is about showing democratic responsiveness. And also why it compounded things for Kamala was the fact that people felt alienated from the Democratic Party's lack of democratic responsiveness.
Yeah.
When for basically since 2023, the polling showed that the Democratic voter base felt that Joe Biden was too old to run again, and they decided to ram him through without really any public debate or process on this front, which made people feel alienated from the Democratic Party. That's a huge problem, and it's not just a problem of Joe Biden. It's a problem, as we're seeing structurally with the party, where they can't conceive of a working class politics that shows direct responsiveness to people. The only people that the people they're most directly responsive to are donors, and then if they see polling shift enough for them, then they'll decide to leave.
and by the way, I came across this tweet from Prem Thacker of ZTO News, who tweeted above the screenshot with this message. Hakeem Jeffries' brother is Hassan Kwame Jeffries, an African-American and U.S. history professor at Ohio State University. And who did he endorse? The man who Hakeem Jeffries will not. Zohran Mamdani. Says everything, doesn't it? At least to me it does. Stamp of approval with everything everyone said in this video. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.